Cool.
All right. Well, good Sunday evening, everyone. It's a busy couple of hours ahead here in your First Alert Weather Center. Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson with meteorologist Mark Pena. We've been looking at a lot of data, not just today, but last couple of days.
Yeah. And we've really had eyes on this about a week ago when we saw that the conditions could be coming together. So we've been watching this for quite a while.
Right. So we're looking at, I want to give you some of the odds.
Yes.
Could this storm system be less? Could it be more? I think if it's going in any direction, it's potentially going toward the more. So on the low end, we've got 4 inches with a system that will have some snow starting between 9 p.m. and midnight here and continuing until about 11 p.m. Monday. But the most likely scenario, 6 to 9 inches. 90% chance.
Yeah, that's high odds. Yeah, high odds that the models are continuing to show those higher trends. And so that's why, 90% chance that wide swath of the DMV likely to get anywhere from 6 to 9 inches right now.
Yeah, we just took a photo a couple of minutes ago here with some of the crew for the 6 o'clock show, and it was thumbs down on the high snowfall amounts.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody wants a snow day, but once it starts to get to those higher levels, that's including work. That means shoveling. That means a whole bunch of stuff, and that's what we're putting a thumbs down for.
Yeah, that's not exciting at all. So on the high end, 11 inches, you got a 40% chance of that happening. Now, plenty of alerts out. This storm system has been going for days. Kansas City, St. Louis, spots west, even south, down through the deep south, there were tornado reports.
Yeah, tornado watch currently.
Right. And then north of that, there was the ice. And now it's our turn next. So here we are within the 24-hour time period of getting some of that heavy snow. And we've got the winter storm warnings everywhere. No one is excluded from this at all.
Yeah. And this is a change from yesterday. If you had been keeping up, only areas along and south of I-66 were included in the warning that was going to start tonight. But since this morning now, that has now expanded for the entire DMV, including all of Maryland, most of Virginia, and even creeping into portions of southern PA.
Right. And we mentioned that because we're within that 24-hour time period of the hazardous weather for several inches of snowfall. That's why we've got the winter storm warning. So I think it was Saturday morning we had some of the first advisories come out, and then it's just been really getting upgraded after that.
Yeah. And whenever that happens, that usually means, high confidence that this storm is heading our way. And then the switch over from a watch to warning is like, okay, not only is it going to snow, but it's likely to be some heavy snow at that. And you can see on your screen there how wide stretching this system is, with winter storm warnings from here in the DMV all the way to portions of eastern Kansas.
But it's an interesting map, isn't it? Because it's not a coastal storm, folks. Yeah. This is a west to east moving storm. Blizzard warning still northwestern Missouri. In fact, New York City may not get any snow out of this at all.
Right. Yeah. It's a very unusual track, especially since there's not even any kind of dips in it. It's just a straight eastward moving system. And you can see that, areas, Philly may get a dusting of maybe an inch or two. But New York City, I think they're in the clear. It's just going to be cold. But the thing to take away with this is travel to New York, highly discouraged, beginning basically in the next couple of hours. So if you have any travel plans, this is moving from the west. So if you're moving away from it, you're good until about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, a windstorm can impact so many areas. So again, zooming in to show you here some of the winter storm warnings that are up for the area. So the snow's been advancing. I don't want to spend too much time on this radar because I'm not sure when you're going to be viewing this, but here's the deal. Between 9 p.m. and midnight, snow will be hitting some of our southwest zones, so just south of I-66. Richmond, now you're seeing a little heavier blue, so likely that there's some rain snow mix. That's what I've been seeing with the onset of this, is a little bit of mixture of rain and snow happening first. Some of those areas down south, though, could get a little bit of sleet.
Yeah. Farther south you go, especially in areas south of I-64, that's where most of this is going to transition from snow now to some icing later. So that's a mess, because that's the ice that coats everything. It makes things very, very slick and can be way dangerous, way more dangerous than just a snowfall, because that you're talking about weighing down trees. You're talking about power outages. Here, we're going to get the fluffy stuff. We're going to get some travel impacts, but at least we're not talking about trees being weighed down, power lines being weighted down like that.
Yeah, I know. We were talking when we started all of this about if we're excited or not. Kind of thumbs down with me. I've been through enough snowstorms, but there's the big snowball fight that takes
Yeah.
place. I think it's Meridian Park tomorrow. That is pretty awesome. It's been a while since they've actually had one taking place. So here's the timeline: midnight until 3 a.m. Light snow, maybe only 1 inch of snowfall on the ground. And this is really important. We're going to be updating this and putting it in our carousel of maps available online. Because if you work an overnight shift and maybe you are still expected to come in, probably only 1 inch of snowfall on the ground. But then by the time you leave at the end of your shift, could be as much as 5 to 10 inches of snow on the ground. So the heaviest is going to be with low visibility 4 a.m. until 11 a.m. And then noon to 4 p.m. we'll get some lighter snow. And there could actually be a burst of another bit of snow from 5 p.m. going maybe to 11 o'clock or just past that, of moderate snowfall. So it's around an inch, 4 to 8. Most of the snow is going to be accumulating rather quickly during those morning hours, starting at about 4 a.m. and going till 11 a.m. And that, again, is what's going to make roads so hazardous.
Right.
Plows need to get out, do their job. They need just enough clearance. So the brine's down on the road. You're seeing those brine lines. What's next then is the salt, and then maybe even the sand that follows after that. Yeah. Let's spend some time on this map.
Yeah, so interesting map here. We've expanded this from yesterday. This now shows, again, a wide swath of the entire DC metro, getting anywhere from 6 to 11 inches across the area. And that yellow dashed line that you see just south of I-66, that's basically where the line, if you're south of it, you can also get a little bit of some sleet mixed in with those snowfall totals. And sleet is different than freezing rain. Sleet are little pellets of ice that accumulate like snow, but is different. And the main takeaway that you want to get with all that is that it's still going to snow, just it's going to be mixed in with the little pellets of ice.
But it could be a little more icy and slippery there. Not just icy, but slippery, I should say, because it'll be snow, then sleet that comes on top of that kind of packs it down, and then some more snow. And you'll know it when it's happening, because we say sleet has a beat, but a bunch.
I like that.
You can hear it a lot of times on your windshield and even on your window panes inside your house. You're like, what is that? What is that? Okay, that's some sleet taking place. But so that's a look at the map. Let's take a look at the zone, because a lot of this information, we've been looking at a lot of different guidance, and we're looking at some numbers within some of that modeling here more specifically. So southern zones, Manassas 9.2 or just over 9 inches, you could say, a little lighter amounts on snowfall because of the mixing with the sleet for the southern zones. We'll push off to the southwestern zones.
Right. Yeah. And this is where the snow will start first, but also keep in mind, again, it could be mixing in with some of that sleet. This is where we could pick up a solid 6, 7, even close to 9 inches the farther north you go. So areas like Front Royal and Washington, that's where you're going to get some of those 7 to 9 inch totals.
And how about DC Metro? Wow. We mentioned it's been a while. Coming up here in a couple of seconds, I'm not sure what frame it's loaded in, but it'll offer some perspective to what this storm could bring and may do to the area. So around DC Metro, we could be getting 9 inches inside of the Beltway, and just a little more than that north.
Right. And this is where most of the people, the most concentrated area of people are. So this is where we could see the heaviest snow falling that will impact the most people across the area. That means our area roads and any infrastructure that is outside likely to be seeing quite a bit of snow.
And now it's only a very thin or small area that could have that 4 to 7 inch on snowfall amounts. Hancock, Hagerstown, so right around the Maryland PA border, because remember what I said earlier, that New York City may not get much of anything. So pretty cool that your First Alert weather team were always able to give you the zone cast in a lot of different forms on timing and what your own neighborhood can expect.
Yeah, I love this right here, because you just look at where you are located on the zone cast column. If you're in the mountains, you're in that top row, northwest, southwest, south, and then the DC Metro, and then just follow it along, and then you'll see where the snow will start for your area. But no matter where you are, notice anything past 1 o'clock, everybody is seeing snow, and that's going to last through a good chunk of your Monday before finally tapering off by tomorrow evening.
Yeah, you can see most of the snow tapering by around 8 to 10 p.m. or so. Certainly hope that's true, but I still think that even on Tuesday, we could be potentially looking at some cancellations still. All right, so what are the impacts going to be with the storm system? School, work closings, of course, road closures, that's a possibility. I'm thinking probably by the end of Monday morning, we could be looking at some road closures for any secondary roads where plows can't get to them.
The non-snow emergency routes,
Yeah.
those are likely going to be tough to get out of. We've been talking about this for a while. Hopefully you're able to work remotely, or maybe just take the snow day, right? And that way you just off the roads. Hopefully you got all of your preparations done today, because the main hazard with this will be people trying to drive on the roads when they're not treated. There's no way for you to know when you're traveling at high speeds. And that's our main worry with this, is just staying off the roads, have the snow day, and have a little fun.
Exactly. Have
Right.
a little fun when you can. That doesn't happen often here in DC. So power outages, could we have them? Here's why I think. Yes, there'll be a little bit of sleet. We mentioned that's basically just some iciness, right? But then the wind will start picking up late Monday and throughout the day on Tuesday. And I really think it's late Monday, early Tuesday when we could see our higher number of power outages because of the winds. Our winds could be gusting around 35 to 40 miles per hour. I should have loaded this one first, and that is the have fun part. Why? Because I think our temperatures were gonna hang pretty much below freezing. Now I could put a lot more science into this. Of course we
Right.
can, Mark, but below 32 degrees, that's
Yes.
the kind of snow that's kind of dry and fluffy.
Yeah, dry and fluffy. It's the stuff that you can, if you put it in your hand, you can blow it out, and it will blow. As opposed to a wet, slushy snow, nobody likes that one.
Yeah. Hopefully, though, we'll have just enough taking place, though, the latter part of the morning to have that snow allow it to stick together. So you saw the map, around 11 inches on the high end for DC Metro. The last time we had 11 inches was January 23rd of 2016. Put your information there in the comments if you remember that storm. So that storm delivered a total of 17.8 inches of snowfall that ended the following day. But there have been some other big storms that have also hit this area that have been close to that.
Yeah, certainly. So I'm from Texas, and even I heard about that snowstorm back in 2016. And this is going down chronologically. So notice that back in 2009, where there was even more snow from one day, where we got 15 inches there back on December 16, 2009. And so not unheard of to see this amount, but it's very infrequent. So this is what can catch a lot of people off guard, is that the higher amounts of snowfall is not something that we see so often here anymore. And so it's all just prepping for it and making sure that you're aware of the amounts, a little bit more than we see in one time.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I am going to say here too is that, the forecast with this being a La Nina winter, no, it wasn't that we or National Weather Service, NOAA, was calling for any high snowfall totals out of this winter. Typically in a La Nina, we don't get a lot of snow, but it doesn't take much when you're looking at where wetter conditions typically are through the Ohio Valley, which is what we're talking about for this pattern, and a jet stream that was just to our north. So we've seen a shift here, a slight shift, enough to give us, with this current track, west to east, some high snowfall amounts. I mean, yeah, it is going to remain cold through the month of January, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And it won't take much in the way of a storm system coming into our area to give us some snow, but it's still going to take all the right things to come together. So could we be getting more of these big storms? Too early to tell is what I want to say.
Yeah.
And this, because we've had winters where we get one big one early on and then nothing. So I don't think that it's going to be that kind of winter with big storm after big storm. So
and I mean,
parents can calm down.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we'll of course be monitoring that. Right now, the focus is this particular one. But yeah, I mean, the stage is set really for a cold January, and so anything that happens to tap into that moisture could spell another chance for snow.
That's right. We're going to leave you with the snowfall amount for all of my friends in my age bracket. Make sure you shovel in stages. Be safe out there. Go easy on your heart, go easy on your back. Remember to bend your knees, do it in stages, stay warm, take those breaks, don't eat any big meals, hydrate, all of it. Take care of yourself, take care of your family.
Yeah, absolutely. And then above all, again, have fun. This is going to be a snow day that haven't had in quite a while.
That is true. Meteorologist Veronica Johnson here with Mark Pena. Thanks, guys.